Turn minutes after it ends.
Why wouldn't you recant the comment you've made earlier about the beheadings in the desert?
Wait until you see what the governor does next. Thanks for choosing us. I'm Katie Rammel.
And I'm Steve Irvin. Tonight, immigration and the economy front and center at the first debate in the race for governor.
But in Democracy 2010 tonight, ABC 15's Christina Boomer breaks down what we never expected to happen next.
Republican Jan Brewer claimed union-orchestrated boycotts of Arizona following SB 1070 hurt Arizona's economy.
Talk about tourism, when we talk about driving the economy down, it's because people like Mr. Goddard's supporter, the unions that are calling out and screaming out for the boycotts, they want to drive our economy down.
After saying he never supported the boycotts, Democrat Terry Goddard argued the governor has also played a role.
What is hurting us right now economically are statements, false statements made by Jan Brewer about how Arizona has become so violent, that we are a place of fear, that we have beheadings in the desert. Those are false statements. They cause people to think that Arizona is a dangerous place and they don't come here and they don't invest here because our governor has said such negative things about our state. And Jan, I call upon you today to say that there are no beheadings. That was a false statement and it needs to be cleared up right now.
And Terry, I will call you out. I think that you ought to renounce your support and endorsement of the unions that are boycotting our state.
She sidestepped the question about the beheadings several times. So as soon as she emerged from the debate, I asked her, why wouldn't you recant the comment you've made earlier about the beheadings in the desert?
Seriously, that's a serious question, Governor.
Well, this was an interesting evening tonight.
She doesn't answer. Instead, reiterates a debate talking point, charging that Goddard doesn't have a plan. Why won't you recant the comment about the beheadings?
To move forward.
Okay, but Governor, seriously.
As other reporters chime in, demanding an answer, this happens.
Governor, please answer the question.
About the headless bodies. Why won't you recant that? You still believe that? Come on, Governor.
Okay, thank you all.
Governor, what do you make?
Well, I'm astonished, frankly. Everybody who's studied this knows there are no beheadings. Arizona has the lowest violent crime rate we've had since 1983. Our law enforcement has done a great job. And why the governor won't simply say, I was wrong. There were no beheadings. Arizona is safe. I do not understand. This is hurting us incredibly.
I did tweet the entire debate, so you can find that feed under my name on Twitter. We've also taken raw sections of the debate and separated them into 5-minute chunks by topic. You can find that right now on abc15.com. That way you can click and hear about the issue you care about. Christina Boomer, ABC 15 News.
Cleanup this morning from the big tax day tea parties all around the valley. ABC 15's Christina Boomer went to one in Tempe and found they might not be as partisan as you think.
If it seems hard to get a handle on what the Tea Party stands for, it might be because members are rallying against a wide range of issues. But ASU political science professor Richard Herrera says there seems to be one standout concern, and this woman's sign sums it up.
If there is a unifying theme, that would be it. Belief that limited government, severely limiting government, is the way to go.
And despite the anti-Obama flair, Herrera says Democrats and Republicans view Tea Party members as swing voters.
And I would say probably the majority are swing voters like myself. I would vote for a Democrat if I thought that I could trust them to actually support the policies that are being presented here.
That could explain why the rally looked a lot like a polling station. Candidates and their campaigns lined the entrance, snagging signatures. Republican House candidate Jeff Dial arrived with an armful of clipboards.
Yes, there are swing voters here. You get Republicans, you get independents, and you get Democrats.
They're seen as voters who maybe you can reach, and if you can reach them, then over time you can keep them. Traditionally, what political parties would try to do is steal away the issues that third-party movements bring forward and make them their own, so that they give the voter then a more a viable option. So who's going to vote for a Tea Party candidate who has very little chance of winning when they have a major party candidate who stands for some of the same sorts of things?
Buzzword is recruit, and we're not going to leave out all the people that voted for Obama. We commit to that?
And so their power is in their numbers. Whether that translates into game-changing votes will be understood come November. Christina Boomer, ABC 15 News.
Democracy 2010 tonight, a push to kick candidates off of the November ballot. The Green Party has filed this large lawsuit in federal court today, asking a judge to block what it calls sham candidates. As ABC 15's Christina Boomer explains, the party believes it's a case of political corruption aimed at misleading you.
In the beginning, I think I'm going to run up against a bunch of brick walls, but they're going to find out I'm here to stay.
Anthony Goshorn delivers fiery speeches from a Starbucks patio off Mill and 5th Street in Tempe. The taxicab driver is better known as Grandpa on the streets.
For a period of years, I chose, through my personal choices, to be homeless.
Now Grandpa's asking for your vote, running as a Green Party candidate this November.
State Senate for this district, 17.
What do you think are your qualifications?
Life experience.
The man who takes credit for inspiring Goshorn and others to run as Green Party candidates is this guy, Steve May, Republican candidate for a state House seat in the same district.
I live on Tempe Town Lake, right on Mill Avenue. We all kind of hang out here together. And so I'm helping them learn about what it is to run for office.
May says he's supporting grassroots democracy.
These guys deserve to be heard. They want to have a voice, and running for office gives them the voice.
He scoffs at any suggestion that he's playing dirty politics by using people like Grandpa to siphon votes away from Democrats this November.
Democrats don't own those votes or any other votes. If they want those votes, they need to earn them.
I have two different phones, both of which have some messages I got through Twitter and Facebook for you. Okay, this is from Lydia. Why did you push them to run green? If he likes green, why isn't he green? Why not push him to run GOP?
Well, they're not Republican. I am. They're green. So that's it. They're Green Party people.
And another one just came in. Ask him why he is trying to deceive the public with these fake candidates.
Well, it's not deception and they're not fake. I mean, if it were deception, I wouldn't be on television talking about it.
It's time to get off of the street corner and into office.
They're alleging this whole thing's a sham, but it's not. It's a revolution.
And Grandpa tells me even if he is being used as a political pawn, he plans to fight this lawsuit to keep his name on the ballot. Christina Boomer, ABC 15 News.
Here in the Valley, a voter registration sweep starts in just hours. The goal is to encourage Hispanics to vote this November. New tonight, ABC 15's Christina Boomer explains why people from another state are so involved.
Busloads of activists from California have joined the fight against SB 1070, to include Arturo Rodriguez, president of the United Farm Workers Union.
We're definitely sharing them our experiences that we had in California, certainly with Prop 187.
California's Prop 187 would have denied illegal immigrants public benefits. Voters passed it in 1994, but it died in court and never took effect. Just like SB 1070, it drove a wedge in the community. Tens of thousands of Hispanics held marches and protests.
It offended a lot of people, you know what I mean, and worried a lot of people.
That frustration boiled over into political action. Latinos in California started heading to the polls, and a rift grew between the Republican Party and the Hispanics who did not agree with 187. The GOP in California has never fully recovered, and so it is invoked, from small community meetings to large public rallies.
Remember when they passed 187? I remember in California, Proposition 187. You know what the response of our community was? Hundreds of thousands, millions of new voters.
And now they have 23% representation in elected office, and they have a Latino mayor.
Arizona activists are now chanting, "Remember California."
I think this November will be awakening to the Republican Party that they can't be treating the Latino community like that.
Christina Boomer, ABC 15 News.
In Democracy 2010 tonight, if you are not registered to vote, you could hear a knock on your door this weekend. ABC 15's Christina Boomer shows us the last-minute push to sign up voters by Monday's deadline.
October 4th is the registration deadline.
For Promise Arizona, this weekend is crunch time, and you can sense their urgency.
We have 2,000 more voters to register.
No sun, no heat. It's going to stop us from this.
You may notice some young faces in the crowd. Area high school students are also volunteering. Take 14-year-old Emily Angelis. She may not be old enough to vote.
Are you guys with me?
Yeah! But she can certainly stir up the crowd.
Every day after school, I've been coming out here. I don't have a voice right now, but by registering people to vote,
I can give them the voice.
Back at headquarters, a copy machine cranks out hundreds of voter registration forms. In another room, volunteers hurriedly make dozens of signs. The group says they're working to keep up with their own goals, exceeding them nearly every day.
Monday alone, instead of hitting 300, we got over 500.
Volunteers often refer to SB 1070.
We're not undocumented, but we have been affected by it. I believe everybody has.
But many of you asked me on Facebook and Twitter who checks to see if all these new forms are valid. We took that question to Secretary of State Ken Bennett.
Right across here are all of the different things that usually pertain to demonstrating your citizenship. Alien registration papers, naturalization papers, tribal identification papers.
Bennett says the county recorder's office is tasked with making sure the newly registered voter is a U.S. citizen.
They have received a driver's license issued by the state of Arizona after October of 1996. Then the motor vehicle department is supposed to have verified citizenship at that time, and therefore if you provide a driver's license number on your voter registration form, then that suffices.
Now, if you know of any other groups working to register new voters this weekend, let us know about it. Christina Boomer, ABC 15 News.
A huge effort to register voters tonight in Democracy 2010. Community groups are fanning out across the valley ahead of Tuesday's primary. ABC 15's Christina Boomer shows us the one question they're asking you first.
2025. We're trying to activate the Latino vote. 17. Knocking on doors. We're trying to bring the voting to their house.
Orlando Arenas is part of a door-to-door voter drive to snatch up Hispanic voters in the wake of SB 1070. In fact, it's the first question to the script on his clipboard.
We're finding voters that are Republicans and Democrats and independents that are actually all against SB 1070, especially in the Latino community.
He believes there's a collective distaste for the law that has galvanized registered Latino voters. Community groups are urging people to vote by mail so families can discuss the issues. The question they are asking? Look at the script. Are Arizona's current leaders good representatives for the Latino community?
What we want for Arizona is a diverse and tolerant community.
For them, Sheriff Joe Arpaio's crime suppression operations have always been unpopular. Often referred to as immigrant sweeps, they've also become a rallying point during this election cycle. Organizers plan to launch voter registration sweeps starting next weekend. They say they'll sweep through neighborhoods, registering people to vote and trying to convince those who already are registered to cast a ballot.
We're upset.
Christina Boomer, ABC 15 News. Republican candidate Tom Horn used his opening statement to tout his resume.
Not as well known as my legal background. Before becoming state superintendent of schools, I was a practicing lawyer for 30 years.
Democratic candidate Felicia Rodolini came out of the gate guns drawn.
I've cracked down on border crimes. He just talks about it.
And there it is, the border. If you're running for a statewide race in Arizona, you better believe immigration and SB 1070 will play high in the debate.
I want to vigorously enforce the law, including Senate Bill 1070, to fight illegal immigration. Felicia was opposed to that bill. She said to the New Times that the Attorney General would be in a pickle because they'd have to defend it if it passed, which she thought was very unfortunate.
I am not going to let Mr. Horn hijack this debate with Senate Bill 1070. Let me tell you my position on this. My priority is border security. Senate Bill 1070 doesn't go far enough. It doesn't stop illegal immigration. It doesn't secure our border.
Both candidates completed a survey for the Arizona Capital Times 2010 primary election guide. In it, under top priority, Rodolini listed secure our border as number 4 behind protecting the elderly, prosecuting mortgage and consumer fraud, and preventing violent crimes. Horn's first 3 words were protecting our border. At the time, he was facing former county attorney Andrew Thomas, whose campaign tried to paint Horn as soft on immigration. Now he seems to be adopting the strategy against Rodolini.
The reason it didn't work for him is that it wasn't true. I was never soft on illegal immigration. I was always strong on illegal immigration. I supported Senate Bill 1070 from the very beginning.
In this election cycle, do you think it's possible to win without throwing full support behind SB 1070?
Senate Bill 1070 is not enough. And that's why I'm on record saying that I can enforce it, I can defend it, but I'm going to do more.
Christina Boomer, ABC 15 News.
A lot of buzz tonight on the role immigration issues are playing in that race. Buzz Mills and Dean Martin, the two Republican candidates, dropping out as jobs and the economy take a back seat. New tonight, ABC 15's Christina Boomer asked whether the candidates' priorities are what you want.
It's certainly not scientific. Hi there, how are you? We'll call it a sidewalk survey. We set up this table along Tempe's Mill Avenue. We have two boxes, one labeled the economy, the other immigration. Wanted to know from people walking by like you, what concerns people more, immigration or the economy?
Definitely economy.
Nathan Sabari is a recent graduate looking for a job, so he's got the economy on his mind. Same goes for these college students.
It affects me more, I feel like, because it's more of a problem than immigration.
Chris Madej joined the growing votes for the economy. He's between jobs right now.
Honestly, you guys, I'm 48, and I'm more than a little bit scared or nervous that it's already gone on for getting on about 2 years.
Jordan Lindholm works at a nearby retail store. She picked immigration, but for a reason you might not expect. She worries about racial profiling.
I see I'm the only one in the immigration.
Does that surprise you?
A little. I just feel like there's been more said about immigration. I guess like that's just the focus right now. But I feel like the economy also has made a difference. Like I see the tax go up.
A similar statement by 3 other people when we switched locations. Set up shop at a Phoenix light rail station. Take Joel Mendez, who picked immigration because he believes it's the big issue right now. But when it comes to him personally,
Probably the jobs, yeah.
Send them home. Go home.
immigration votes quickly start to climb.
Lawmakers concerned, professionals concerned, business concerned, the whole across the board is concerned. It affects everyone.
But then the economy comes back from behind.
There's not enough jobs, you know.
Make sure that everybody got enough money to eat.
In my business here downtown, it's just, it's having a lot of trouble.
1, 2, 3. The economy beats immigration by just a smidge, 2 votes. Christina Boomer, ABC 15 News.
In the immigration debate tonight, 2 bills causing a lot of controversy in a week-long protest. The Senate bill already passed. The House version will be voted on as early as tomorrow. ABC 15's Christina Boomer explores what would happen if this becomes law.
No longer would any local police department be able to have a policy where they don't ask someone about their legal status.
It removes sanctuary policies.
Senate bill sponsor Russell Pierce says the reason is simple.
Most of them come here looking for a better way of life, but you just can't walk into somebody's country just like you can't walk into their house. You must have a permission slip.
Especially worrisome to community organizer Carlos Garcia, it would be a crime to transport an undocumented person in your car or have them in your house.
There's lots of families, for example, my personal family, where some of us have become documented and others have not, that we might be driving together to the store, and it's just a difficult situation to be in.
We don't want little old ladies in trouble when they innocently are taking somebody to church. Got to be in violation of another criminal act before it kicks in on the harboring, aiding, and abetting.
If you're in this country illegally, you could be charged with criminal trespassing if you're caught standing anywhere on private or public land. That means you essentially couldn't stand anywhere in the state of Arizona.
This part of trespassing is what kind of people are going to be asked whether they're trespassing or where they're going to be asked. This is where we come into the situation of racial profiling.
This doesn't allow that. What's enough enough?
Funny, because that's the exact slogan being used by more than 15 groups to rally against the bills. Enough is enough. Now, they are rallying at Wednesday at noon at the state capitol. We have more on that. Plus, if you want to learn more about some of the other provisions in the bill, which includes employers, and my interview with Russell Pierce, it's on abc15.com. Just click on 15 links. Reporting live, Christina Boomer, ABC 15 News.